Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to be looking at another Knipex product, and this time it will be the Knipex Cobra water pump pliers. The particular model that we're looking at here today is the 8701-125. The 125 specifying the overall length of the tool at 125 millimeters, and that is equivalent to approximately 5 inches for us in Imperial. These are much like the version of the Pliers wrenches that Knipex makes in the 5-inch version. These are very, very popular among the EDC community because of their compact size. And they're still quite capable even for being in that really small size. So let's take a little better look at the Knipex Cobras. Well, let's talk a little bit about the design of the Knipex Cobras and kind of what makes them so great, why they have some benefits over other water pump plier manufacturers. So a couple of the key things that I like about the Cobras, first of all, is their jaw pattern. They have some very, very fine tooth jaws in there, and just the way everything is angled, it just really makes them very, very good at gripping on a pipe, which we're going to demonstrate here in a little while. Now, the next thing that I really like about the Cobras is the handle shape. You notice that that top handle kind of curves back, and then the way the stop is at the front, just the way they're engineered, they really kind of drastically reduce the chances that you're ever going to pinch yourself with these particular pliers. Now, can you do it? Yeah, you can. I have absolutely done it, but it was really kind of my own fault as well. So the handle shape is a big factor in why I like these particular water pump pliers as well. The next thing is the adjustment mechanism. They use a integrated spring on the back here that is replaceable, and it has double tooth engagement, which you can see on the sides here. Now I just like that version better. Now when you get into stuff like channel locks where you have to open them up and they have that tongue and groove system, it's not as finely tuned. So you have larger chunks of movement as opposed to the more fine-tuned movement of the water pump, of the Knipex Cobras. Let's bring in the Pliers Wrenches version, and we're going to set them side by side, and we're going to highlight some of the similarities between the two styles and then some of the differences. So I brought in the Pliers Wrenches, model number 8603-125, and I said we'd go over the similarities first, but let's concentrate on the differences first. So the first thing we want to look at is in the Pliers Wrenches, they use more of a rubberized grip that is less likely to get built up with dirt, debris, and oils, where in the Knipex Cobras, they use more of a texturized grip that is going to be more likely to get built up with dirt, debris, and oils. But the reason that they do that is because water pump pliers in and of themselves are more likely to be in environments where you're going to have excessive moisture, and so that texturized grip allows you to get a little better grip, a little better purchase on the pliers themselves. Now, personally, I wouldn't mind seeing a version that had the smooth handles as well, but this is what they put on the texturized grip. One key difference between the two. The next most glaring difference between the two is that you have the black finish of the Knipex Cobra pliers, and you have the chrome finish of the Pliers Wrenches. Now, they do have a version of the Pliers Wrenches that are also in black as well. I personally prefer the chrome version because it's less likely to build up with surface rust, where in a black version it is more likely that will happen. Now, you can alleviate that by just keeping your tools clean, a little light coating of oil on that black finished surface. Is it going to affect the tool? Unless it's excessive, no. It's not going to affect the functionality of the tool. It's just over time, I suppose it could, but it's very easy to clean up as long as you maintain your tools, and especially if you're investing in higher dollar tools, you want to make sure that you keep them as clean as possible. Now, the next difference is obviously in the jaw shape. So where the Pliers Wrenches are smooth jaws, they're designed to work with hex fasteners, with square fasteners, anything with flat surfaces. The Cobras they have that quite a bit different jaw pattern, where they're actually designed to work both with hex fasteners and with pipe and round objects. It's one of the great things about the Cobras and where they kind of excel over the Pliers Wrenches, in the case that if you have a really rusted on fastener, the Cobra pliers can get a better grip, a better purchase on that particular fastener because of the teeth pattern. They kind of dig into that material and allow you to get just a better grip on it to get those stubborn and rusted up fasteners removed, as well as being able to work on pipe. Now, the smooth jaws of the pliers wrenches are better for working on newer fasteners or fasteners that you don't want to mar up, because the Cobras will definitely do that. Now, when we're talking about the similarities between the two, the one function that I really like with both of these different types of wrenches is the adjustment mechanism. I love that double teeth engagement that is on the sides of either side here. That allows you to set the plier wrench in exactly where you want it, and the spring will re-engage the button here where it will engage with the teeth and thereby not move any further. So I can move this all around and they'll stay in place. Now, they do have a version of the Cobras where they are quick adjustment. I personally don't care for those that much. I know a lot of people do, and I understand why, but I personally like the version where I set it and then no matter how I move the pliers, it stays set in that particular spot. The reason I like that is because it seems like at the most inopportune times when I'm going to reach with something one-handed, and I've just got my other hand occupied and can't use two hands to set that it closes up at just the wrong time. And that's the reason why I prefer this particular type of adjustment mechanism. Now, another key similarity between the two is that they have that kind of ratcheting action. So the pliers wrenches, you grab hold of them. Now, they have the more leverage that you get with the pliers wrenches because of just the way they're designed. But what it allows you to do is you can release and you can very quickly turn. You don't have to pull off of the fastener in order to reset. So that's one key difference, or one key similarity between the two. Now, the Cobra pliers have exactly the same functionality where you can release and then turn and get back on that fastener. Two of the key similarities between the two, and two of the things that I like most about both of these particular pliers. And one of the biggest things that I like, and one of the similarities that I forgot to highlight, is the fact that when you are set on a fastener, and we'll just get this adjusted so that it fits correctly on here. When you're set on a fastener, you can just put pressure on the top jaw and that wrench will stay engaged. It's a very nice feature, especially when you're working in tight areas. Now, Knipex actually has a little test thing that demonstrates how well these grip. And I was actually going to purchase it, but then I saw the price of it, and for no more than it is, and it's only one single size of pipe. So I decided to build my own instead. So I built one out of channel and some different size pipes where we can test out these wrenches to see where their max capability really lies. So I made mine with 1/2-inch pipe, 3/4 pipe, 1-inch pipe, and 1.5-inch pipe. And we're gonna check it out and see just how well the Cobra's grip. Now, this is the little test stand that I built in order to kind of highlight how well these pliers will work. And one of the biggest factors with the Knipex Cobra pliers is the fact that once you lock them in place, you can just put pressure on the top handle and they will hold extremely well. So we're gonna test it out and see if they'll hold my weight, which I weigh in at about 180 pounds. Well, it's a little tough to balance on these, but you can see that they will actually hold my weight, which is really quite impressive how strong those jaws grip on the Knipex Cobras. Now, if we take a look at how the pliers actually gripped, you can see that they slipped initially, but once they grabbed, they were set and they did not move. So they make very, very good pliers, and especially for working on round objects like this. A lot of the reason that they slipped on there is because this thing has pretty much fresh paint on it, and so it just slipped through until it was able to grab the metal, and then they did not move. Now, my personal opinion on the 8701-125 Knipex Cobra pliers are that they are still very good pliers. In fact, the whole range of the Cobra pliers are very, very good. The reason that I kind of lean away from them, now they're very good for little detail work. If you're working on very small tubing and stuff of that nature, then they're really fantastic tools to work with. But because I have pretty large hands, they just don't fill out my hand very well. And so I feel like I'm choked up on them all the time. And I actually prefer some of the larger versions of both the Pliers wrenches and of the Knipex Cobras. I really like that 7 and 10 inch range. Now, obviously, they're not going to be as conducive to being able to carry them around all the time. So it's kind of give and take. But for me, I think the 7-inch version really shines better than some of the others. Even the 6-inch version gives you quite a bit more capability than the small 125 or the 5-inch version. Well, this has been a look at the Knipex Cobras, model number 8701-125. Hope you've enjoyed. If you did, please hit that thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.